Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today, I'm bringing you a brand new episode in the story of Hoai Ca and Officer Hung, two ordinary people who always find ways to love and protect each other through every twist of life. This morning, as the sun gently rose, Hoai Ca and Hung woke up early to take little Tony to the provincial hospital for a checkup. The three of them sat together in a small car, chatting and laughing along the way, yet behind those smiles were a mother's quiet worries and the silent care of a man who always stands by her side. What will the results of today's checkup reveal? And what awaits Hoai Ca, Hung, and little Tony in the days ahead? Stay with me until the end of today's video to find out. There are some heartfelt surprises you won't want to miss. Morning light slowly warmed the little house on the hillside. The scent of chicken noodles and warm milk drifted through the kitchen, mingling with the faint smoky aroma from the pot of boiling water just taken off the stove. Outside, the wind whispered through the erica trees, and sparrows chirped cheerfully, announcing the start of a new day. In the small kitchen, Hoai Ca sat by the wooden table. On it was a white porcelain bowl, steam curling lazily into the air. She gently blew on a spoonful of noodles to cool it down, then fed it to Tony, speaking softly in her tender, hushed voice. "Eat up, sweetheart. After this, Mommy will take you to school, then we'll stop to buy some milk, okay? We're out of it already, remember." Tony lifted his head, his round black eyes gleaming under the morning light. He stared at the bowl, wrinkled his little nose, then shook his head firmly. His tiny hand grabbed the stainless steel spoon and tapped it against the rim, clink, clink, giggling as he did. The sound of his laughter, bright and pure, blended with the whisper of the wind, a melody of the morning, simple yet full of warmth. Hoai Ca smiled, a smile half helpless, half overflowing with love. She reached out to smooth his fine, silky hair, strands fluttering softly with her breath. "It's okay, my love. If you don't want this, Mommy will buy you something you like better later, all right?" Her voice was as light as the breeze, so gentle that even the little kitchen seemed to hold its breath. Outside, sunlight streamed through the thin curtain, spilling golden light across the earthen floor. Pale pink bougainvillea petals drifted down in the wind, landing on the doorstep beside Tony's tiny sandals neatly placed in a row. The smell of fried shallots, warm milk, and morning air blended into a familiar fragrance, the scent of peace, the kind only those who've known hardship can truly cherish. Yet inside Hoai Ca's heart, there was no peace. Each time she saw her son playing silently, her chest tightened. Tony was 2.5 now, bright, quick, understanding everything his mother said. He laughed when praised, helped her pick vegetables, and ran to greet her every time he heard the sound of her motorbike stopping at the gate. But he still didn't speak. "No, Mommy. No, Grandma." Not a single word. She had lost count of how many times she'd swallowed back tears, hearing neighbors' children babble Mama and Papa, while her own boy only stood watching, lips parting as if to say something, then closing again. Each night, after rocking him to sleep, she would sit quietly beside the bed, watching those little lips move faintly in his dreams, her heart swelling with an ache she couldn't name. "Maybe he's just a little late, just a little slower than others," she told herself day after day, clinging to that fragile hope amid worries no one else could understand. The early sunlight slanted through the window, brushing Tony's cherubic face, pink and peaceful. Hoai Ca leaned down and kissed his forehead, leaving on that milk-scented skin a tender kiss, one so soft, so full of love, it could melt even the coldest morning. While Hoai Ca was tidying up the breakfast table, packing Tony's things, and carefully wrapping up his milk box, the soft sound of footsteps echoed from the kitchen. The faint scent of wood smoke and warm broth drifted through the air as Mother Ha emerged, a cleaning cloth still in her hand, wisps of kitchen smoke clinging gently to her shoulder. "What will you do after taking the boy to school?" Her voice rasped softly, familiar, tender, full of quiet concern. Hoai Ca looked up, a faint smile on her lips. She tied the string of the bag and replied, "I'll stop by the new plot of land that Hung just bought, plant a few rows of corn before the rain comes, then head back early to cook lunch for him." Her tone was light yet brimming with excitement. Her eyes sparkled with a pride she could hardly hide. She spoke with the warmth of a woman who was finally beginning to feel what peace truly meant after years of hardship, as though that piece of land wasn't just soil to cultivate, but a promise, a beginning of something solid and hopeful. She paused for a moment, glanced at her mother, and continued more softly, her voice tinged with both anticipation and unease. "Hung's coming home this afternoon, Mother. He's been away for a few days on a training trip in the province. He said he'll pick us up, take Tony down to the hospital for a proper checkup. If the doctor recommends speech therapy, Tony and I might have to stay there for a few months." At that, her voice faltered. Though she spoke calmly, her heart was a jumble of emotions, hope tangled with worry, excitement mixed with the quiet fear of leaving home, of being apart from her mother. Mother Ha listened, then set the cloth down on the table. She smoothed the hem of her faded brown blouse and smiled gently, the kind of smile shaped by time, by years steeped in kitchen smoke and quiet resilience. "Don't worry, my dear," she said in her steady, warm voice. "I'll manage just fine here. The chickens, the garden, I know them all by heart. You just take care of the little one. That's what matters now. Don't hesitate. I'm old already, but you and the boy, you still have your whole future ahead." Such simple words, yet they made Hoai Ca's nose sting with emotion. She looked at her mother's hands, thin, wrinkled, but radiating warmth. Those same hands once held her when she was small, steadied her when she stumbled, and now they continued to shelter both her and her child. She nodded gently, smiling through the ache in her chest, a mix of love, gratitude, and something wordless that filled the quiet morning. Just then, Tony came toddling in from the yard, clutching a small plastic duck toy. He looked up and flashed his grandmother a bright grin. Mother Ha bent down, stroked his soft hair, and said kindly, "You're going on a little trip, aren't you? Be a good boy, okay? When you come back, Grandma will give you some fresh eggs." Hoai Ca watched them, her heart softening. Morning sunlight streamed through the window, spilling over the faces of 3 generations, simple, kind, and filled with a love so deep it didn't need words. The sun had climbed high, its pale golden light filtering through the trees and spilling softly across the hillside. The red dirt path leading to the new plot still glistened with dew, each footprint leaving behind a faint, wet mark. Hoai Ca and her mother carried woven baskets on their backs, sickles in hand, walking slowly through the cool morning air scented with damp soil and the sweet hint of ripe pomelos drifting in the breeze. The young grass grew thick, its tips heavy with dew that sparkled like threads of silver under the sun. With each swing of Hoai Ca's sickle, the blades of grass fell, releasing the earthy scent of freshly turned soil that mingled with the faint salt of sweat and the freshness of dawn. Familiar sounds of the countryside echoed around the hill, birds calling to one another, a distant rooster crowing, and the gentle murmur of a stream at the foot of the slope. Mother Ha paused, leaning on her sickle, her eyes scanning the land. Sunlight caught on her graying hair, wrapping her in a halo of soft light. She nodded in admiration. "Hung really has a good eye," she said. "This land is spacious, open, high, and away from the stream, no risk of floods or landslides. Build a house here, and you'll have peace of mind for a lifetime." Hoai Ca stood beside her, brushing the damp hair off her forehead. Beads of sweat clung to her skin, but her smile was bright. He said he'd raise the ground higher before building the house. He told me, no matter how hard the storms come, you and our child will always have a safe place. Just hearing that makes me feel at ease, Mother. Then she bent down again, continuing to clear the grass. The rhythmic sound of the blades striking stone, clink, clink, filled the quiet air. Bit by bit, the earth beneath revealed itself, dark, rich, and ready for a new season of growth. The wind passed through the pomelo branches, shaking loose a few petals that drifted down into High Ca's hair and her mother's bamboo basket. As they worked, Mother Ha pointed out the good spots on the land. This area is soft and catches sunlight well, perfect for corn. Down there's a groundwater vein. You can plant morning glory or some onions near it. High Ca nodded, her eyes brightening. Her hands moved faster, as though she could already see the image taking shape. A small house with a front porch, rows of green corn, and a pomelo garden heavy with fruit. The sun climbed higher, bathing the hillside in golden light. The sound of cutting grass mingled with the rustle of leaves and the whisper of wind sweeping along the slopes. They finally paused, sitting under a green pomelo tree near the edge of the field. The air was thick with the sweet, refreshing scent of fruit and soil. Mother Ha reached up and chose a few large pomelos, their skin smooth and still wet with dew. She twisted them gently off the stems. "These will fetch a good price at the market," she said, wiping the dust from one before pointing to a few more. "And those, keep them for later. When we get home, we'll peel and share them. They're sweet and cool." High Ca carefully placed each pomelo into her basket. The scent filled the air, crisp, clean, and comforting. She looked out across the vast stretch of land spreading down the hillside, her chest swelling with emotion. Every tuft of grass she had cleared, every swing of her sickle, felt like a quiet promise, a vow to the future. The hum of insects rose again. Wind from the valley below swept up, stirring the edges of their blouses. In that simple, sunlit moment, life seemed to breathe slowly, peaceful, steady, and full of hope, just like the faith quietly growing in the young woman's heart. The sun had mellowed by the time they headed home. Moonlight filtered through the bamboo leaves, scattering golden patches that danced gently in the wind. The red dirt path curved along the hillside, lined with tall erica palms and bright red hibiscus in bloom. In the distance came the faint sounds of farmers planting rice, mingling with the smell of dry straw and wood smoke rising from village kitchens. Mother Ha walked slowly, gripping the strap of her woven basket. The bamboo guay was heavy, filled with freshly picked greens, a few green-skinned pomelos, and a bundle of young banana leaves. Sweat beaded her forehead, but her expression remained calm and kind. Her steps were steady on the soft, earthen slope. From afar, the low hum of a familiar motorbike engine grew closer. The sound echoed through the bamboo grove, slowing as it neared. A green motorbike pulled up beside the path. Hung got off, his face tanned from the sun, his shirt dusted with dirt from the road, hands still gloved from the ride. He smiled, polite yet warm. "Hello, Mother. You want to see the new land? Let me give you a ride home. It's too hot to walk this far at noon." Mother Ha squinted against the sunlight, a gentle smile spreading across her sun-worn face. "Yes, I went to take a look. The two of us cleared quite a bit this morning. You came at just the right time. I was about to rest." Hung quickly lifted the basket from her shoulder and placed it carefully on the back seat. He turned back, offering his hand to help her climb on, his gestures careful, respectful, almost like a son's. "I'll drive slow, Mother. The road's rocky, hold on tight, all right?" The engine started, and the wheels rolled smoothly over the dirt road, gliding through streaks of sunlight that streamed between the bamboo shadows. The breeze carried the scent of freshly tilled fields, earth and straw mingling with the faint sweetness of pomelo blossoms. They didn't speak at first, listening only to the hum of the wind and the rhythmic chirping of insects along the roadside. After a while, Mother Ha leaned slightly toward him, her voice low and thoughtful amid the steady rumble of the bike. "You chose that land well. It's safe, spacious, quiet. Not many plots around here are like that, and it's far from the stream, so no fear of floods or landslides. I'm happy for that girl, Hoai Ca. She's lucky to have someone who thinks ahead." Hung smiled, his voice calm and humble as he kept his eyes on the road. "I just want her and the boy to be safe. Later, when things are better, I'll build them a solid house, steel and concrete, not wood this time. Something sturdy. So no storm will ever scare them again." Mother Ha nodded slowly. Her eyes drifted toward the distant horizon, where sunlight spilled gold across the fields. Her voice softened, carrying a trace of emotion. "That's a good heart you've got, son. A home doesn't need to be big, only strong and filled with warmth. That girl's been through so much already. I just hope her life can finally be peaceful from now on." The midday breeze stirred her blouse, and the sound of the motor blended with the rustling of bamboo. They fell silent again for a while, each lost in thought. As they rounded a bend, the path opened wide, revealing lush green rice fields stretching like silk down the valley. After a pause, Mother Ha spoke again, her tone gentle but measured. "The two of us have been saving a little money. If things go well, maybe you can help us find a small piece of land near the fields, something close to water, close to the market. I just want a place to grow some vegetables, maybe keep a few chickens." Hung turned his head slightly and smiled. "Of course, Mother. Leave it to me. I know some people at the land office. I'll let you know the moment a good plot comes up. There's no rush, take your time." Hearing that, Mother Ha chuckled softly, the kind of gentle, time-worn laugh that left faint lines of warmth at the corners of her eyes. They kept talking as the motorbike rolled on, their voices blending with the wind and the sound of bamboo leaves swaying above. In the distance, white birds dipped low over the rice fields, their wings glinting in the fading light before disappearing into the soft haze of the afternoon. The village road stretched on, leading them back to the small house at the end of the hamlet, where the familiar scent of cooking smoke began to rise, mixing with the smell of warm rice and the clucking of chickens, a piece so simple, yet so deeply felt. By noon, the sunlight had softened. Golden beams slanted through the areca palms in the front yard, their shadows swaying gently across the ground. Cicadas sang endlessly through the garden, while the distant crow of a rooster blended with the still, hushed rhythm of the countryside, familiar, calm, and peaceful. From the gate came the low hum of Hung's motorbike, mingling with the whisper of wind and rustling bamboo leaves. He slowed, stopped at the entrance, and turned off the engine. Dust still clung to his shoulders, sweat darkened the color of his shirt, but his eyes were bright and steady. Stepping up to the porch, he removed his gloves and called softly, "I'm home." In the small kitchen, Hoai Ca was rinsing rice. The sound of running water mixed with the gentle bubbling of soup simmering on the clay stove. She looked up at him, a faint smile blooming on her tired face, as if all the morning's fatigue melted away in that instant. "You're back early. I was just starting lunch." Hung set his bag on the table, brushed the dust from his sleeve, and spoke with a calm but decisive tone. "Take a shower and rest a bit, then get our things ready. Pack a few extra outfits for Tony. After we eat, we'll pick him up and head straight to the provincial hospital. If we get hungry on the way, we'll stop to eat later, no need to cook much now." Hoai Ca nodded gently, replying with a quiet yes. She wiped her hands and stepped into the small bedroom to prepare. The soft sounds of drawers opening, fabric rustling, and sparrows flapping outside the window filled the noon air. She took out a few of Tony's tiny shirts, folded them neatly with her own clothes, and placed them into a small open suitcase on the bed. Inside were a bottle of water, a box of milk, and a few personal items. Each object she arranged with quiet care, as if she were packing not just belongings, but fragments of hope for a new beginning. Mother Ha emerged from the back room, fanning herself with a palm leaf fan. Her frame was thin, her old brown blouse faded from years of wear, the scent of smoke and sunlight still clinging faintly to her. She looked at her daughter, her eyes filled with both affection and worry. "Be careful on the road, you two," she said softly. "Hopefully the doctor will say the boy's just a late talker, nothing more. Children grow at their own pace, some early, some late. It doesn't mean anything bad." Her voice was slow and low, yet warm, the kind that could steady a trembling heart. Hung turned toward her, his tone respectful. "Yes, Mother. I'll call as soon as we get there." She nodded, her gaze following them as they moved about, finishing their packing. In her eyes was trust, but also the quiet ache of a mother who could never stop worrying, for her daughter, for her grandchild, for the uncertain road ahead. Inside the room, Hoai Ca zipped up the suitcase, then sat on the edge of the bed, letting her eyes sweep over everything once more. Her hand brushed over Tony's small shirt, and her expression softened. In the corner, his tiny sandals, neatly placed that morning, still carried a trace of dust from play. The sight stirred something deep within her, a mix of longing, anxiety, and hope. She took a slow breath, as though drawing strength for the journey to come. Her eyes shimmered in the light, clear and resolute. "This time, it will be all right," she whispered, a promise to herself more than anyone else. Hung stood quietly by the door, watching her. He said nothing, only nodded. Between them, the silence of the afternoon stretched wide, broken only by the rustle of wind through the erica leaves, the faint brush of fabric in motion, and the shared, steady breath of two people preparing for a journey into hope. The journey to find little Tony's first words. Hung's motorbike rolled away from the village road under the soft noon sunlight, the hum of its engine fading into the quiet countryside. Dust lifted gently behind the wheels, shimmering gold beneath the sunlight spilling across distant rice fields. On the back seat, Hoai Ca held a small suitcase tightly, her eyes turning back again and again toward the familiar house, where an old, loving figure still stood at the gate. Behind them, Mother Ha leaned against the fence, her palm leaf fan still in hand, the hem of her dark brown blouse fluttering in the wind. Her gaze followed the two figures until they disappeared around the bend at the edge of the hamlet. Then, in the still air of the midday sun, her voice drifted softly with the breeze. "Go on, my dear. I'll take care of the house. I just hope this time, little Tony will finally find his first words." Her words floated through the wind, across the fields, part prayer, part blessing, carrying with them all a mother's faith and love for the journey ahead. Stay tuned to find out what awaits Hoai Ca, Hung, and little Tony at the provincial hospital. Will the results bring them joy or new worries for their small family? Don't forget to leave a comment sharing your thoughts. And hit like and subscribe to follow the next episode, where the journey to find Tony's very first words truly begins.
Xin chào tất cả mọi người đã quay trở lại với kênh của mình. Hôm nay thì mình đang làm video về câu chuyện của Ly Hoai Ca. Hiện tại là mình đã làm xong rồi, nhưng bây giờ là mình đang đặt tên cho video. Mình cũng chưa biết đặt tên cho video. Mình cũng chưa biết đặt tên gì cho nó hợp lý để nó hấp dẫn mọi người đúng không? Mình cũng chưa biết là tên là gì cho nó hấp dẫn, tại vì xem và tham khảo thêm. Mọi người ơi, hãy theo dõi kênh của mình nhé. Sáng mai thì mình sẽ lên video vào lúc 7 giờ sáng. Tại vì bây giờ buổi tối và 1 giờ mình mới làm xong video.